have an example for you to follow. This is what I found in Numbers chapter 12, verses 1 through 16. Of course, I always encourage you, read ahead, find your own space. That's where you will be most nurtured by the Lord, as you interacting with His Word and finding what He has to say for you. But sometimes you just need to let it be, and you don't need to be defending your cause. Sometimes you just need to let God defends you. In fact, I wonder if that's not always the case. We usually go astray when we try to defend ourselves and defend our honor. So let's see what happened to Moses. This actually happened to him from his family. Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Cushite woman whom he had married. Oh boy, Miriam and Aaron, his brother and sister, are coming against Moses, and they're talking bad about Zipporah. They're talking bad about his wife. They, for some reason, are even calling her a Cushite woman. They are degrading her. She is from the family of Midianite, from the Midianites, and they are speaking badly against her for who knows exactly why, but they're talking bad against her. And I do think it's interesting that we see Miriam and Aaron are actually the ones coming against Moses, because we do see that they were very instrumental in the people of Israel. Aaron was the high priest. Miriam, we have that famous time where she, after they cross the Red Sea, gets the tambourines out and begins praising the Lord. She indeed was a prophetess for the people of Israel. So they had an exalted state, an important role, but that wasn't good enough for them. If you think too, the previous reading that we just had is that God gave his spirit to 70 elders. And of those 70 elders, Miriam was not included because she was a woman. This was all descended upon men. Aaron also was not included, even though he was the high priest. The divine helpers that God was giving Moses was not neither Miriam or Aaron, and perhaps they were upset that they didn't get to choose who these 70 folks was. But we see, how does Moses respond? We even see what they say. Hey, has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us also? We're important. Why are we always talking about Mo? Why are we talking about Moses? What about us? What about us? Well, Moses doesn't say anything, but we do see somebody heard it. The Lord heard it. And then verse 3, here's our example to follow. Now the man Moses was very meek, more than all people who were on the face of the earth. It doesn't seem like he responded at all to what Miriam and Aaron were saying. He didn't respond and try to defend his cause. He was meek like Jesus. You remember, Jesus was like a lamb taken to the slaughter. Jesus could have, while he was on the cross, called down 10,000 angels to rescue him, but he chose not to. Moses was meek like Jesus. But we see somebody did hear it, and it was God, and we see that it was the Lord who responded. Let's read how he responds in verse 4. Suddenly, the Lord said to Moses and Aaron and Miriam, like he's speaking to three children, come out here, you three, to the tent of meeting. And the three of them came out, and the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud, stood at the entrance of the tent, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forward. What a terrifying sight this must have been. And God says, hear my words. If there's a prophet among you, I, the Lord, make myself known to him in a vision. I speak to him in a dream, but not with Moses. I speak to him in a different way. He is faithful in all my house. With him I speak mouth to mouth, face to face, clearly, not in riddles, and he beholds the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Aaron and Miriam, you have a special place. Why are you speaking against Moses? So we see it is the Lord that is straightening things out. It is not Moses himself. And then here's what the Lord does. When the cloud removed from over the tent, behold, Miriam was leprous like snow. This is where many people say, okay, Miriam must have been the initial instigator. Perhaps there's something between sister-in-laws here, between Miriam and Zipporah, because we do see too at the beginning, it's Miriam's name that is spoken first about those who are talking bad against Moses. So the cloud leaves, the Lord leaves, and Miriam is covered with leprosy. Aaron turns to Miriam and he sees that she's leprous, and he begs Moses, don't punish us because we've been foolish. We have sinned. And look at what Moses did. Moses cried to the Lord, oh God, please heal her. Please. The ones that were coming against him, his dear sister, he prays for her, wants her to be healed. And of course, the Lord does do that. She has to stay outside the camp for a time, for 7 days. And then she is brought back inside, and the Israelites continue journeying on their way. Friend, sometimes you just need to let it be. You don't need to defend your honor. You don't need to defend your name. You just keep doing the right thing. Let the Lord work things out as he sees fit. And many times, he just does some things behind the scenes to iron things out for you. So sometimes you just need to let it be. I pray that's been a blessing to you, and I'll see you in the next video.